We're going live any second. Hey, everyone. How are you? Welcome. It's Monday. It's another Monday closer to the beginning of the NHL season. Thank goodness. Everybody getting a little bit stir crazy right now with nobody signing, nothing happening. But thank God for Adidas. We'll get to that in a second.
Well, yeah.
But first, Russ, you got something you'd like to say?
Yeah. There's a 2021 Baseball Hall of Fame ballot out. So I'll mention some of the big names on there. Then I'll mention a guy who I think should be up for it. But there's Barry Bonds.
Sorry.
Russ, the list is strewn with steroid cheats.
Not all of them. I'm going to give you the steroid ones first. Obviously, There's Bonds. There's Sosa. There's Jeff Kent.
Clemens, Manny Ramirez.
You know, then you've got your Todd Heltons, who's got his own issues with the field. Andrew Jones, Torrey Hunter, really good players. Manny Ramirez is the other.
Steroid cheat, yeah.
Yep. And, you always have Sheffield. He's another one.
Andy Pettit is a steroid cheat, but at least he admitted it.
He did, but he's on there too. And I'll tell you the guy who I have sort of slated in there. I don't think he'll get in this time, but I think over time, as we reevaluate the pitching position, I would put Mark Burley in, and I'll tell you why. So Mark Burley had if you look at it, he had a great 16-year career. Like,
sure.
Always won double digits, always pitched 200 innings or more, a lot more actually. Even complete games in an era where he wasn't a strikeout pitcher in the steroid era. And he only quit baseball because he owned a pit bull, and when he was in Miami, he was hoping to get Miami-Dade County to change the law. They didn't. Then he got traded to Toronto, and he never could get them to change the law in the province, and eventually just left because he was like, right, I'm missing all this time away from my family and my dog, and you know what? I've kind of had it with it. But if you look at a guy who showed up to pitch all the time and was an ace, 32, 33 games every year. So I think he is a guy that I think when you look down the road, he could have hung around and gotten 250 wins, which I think will be the new mark. But he didn't because, he left at 38.
But he never won a Cy Young. Did he win a World Series with the Sox?
He won a World Series. He 5-time All-Star, 4-time Gold Glove. He's got a lot of other good credentials. I think there's a chance for him.
I think with the obviously innings and wins down in terms of, like Pedro, what did he have, like 220 career victories, something like that. I think David Cohn is going to get in. I think Pettit eventually will get in only because he admitted it. I mean,
I think there's a time that Andy Pettit will get in.
Yeah.
To be honest, I think Burley's better than Cohn. Cohn had a better, shorter time frame, but Burley was a better pitcher for 16 years.
And not to say that he won't make it because of steroids, but he won't make it because he's an a-hole, and that's Curt Schilling. Yeah,
Curt Schilling now has probably talked himself out of being in there for at least a while because they don't even if he got voted in, they would be afraid to have him at the ceremony. That would be part of the issue, unfortunately. Is that fair? I don't know. I'm just telling you what it is.
He'd show up with a bloody tuxedo.
He might. So we'll switch gears here because we were chatting before we got on here about food that we might have made in our dorm rooms or off campus.
I'm eating SpaghettiOs, which is like ridiculous.
Because eating SpaghettiOs for lunch. And my two go-tos in college when I was away from campus, because I lived at home for the first couple of years. My two go-tos were ramen noodles and tuna fish. I would have them loaded up in the cabinet, and when I felt like I had the need.
Was this a combined thing? You combine them together? Or just...
No. They're separate, but just the two separate snacks. Like I had a meal plan, right? But again, there are times when the meal plan doesn't help you, and so those were the two things I would load up on.
No, I was definitely,
and I shopped at Kroger to get them. That's where I would shop.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely had when we were starting out, definitely, a lot of mac and cheese, Kraft macaroni dinner for those Canadians out there.
That's me. Kraft macaroni and cheese and bologna sandwiches.
Oh, bologna sandwich.
I'm a peanut butter and jelly guy. I make that a lot.
I did have PBJ. I did have PBJ too. Yeah,
I like that too.
Yeah, I have like a I get that just peanut butter and jelly combination jar
Oh,
thing.
you like that combo jar? See, I never liked the combo jar.
It's not the greatest, but it is the ultimate epitome in laziness. Like I really, when I do it every time I'm doing it, I'm like, really, this is like I could get better jelly, I could get better peanut butter, but this is together.
You loathe you loathe yourself after you buy it, but you realize
but I'm like, this is absolutely lazy to the umpteenth degree, and I'm gonna just do it and forget about it.
The late nights after either going out with friends from college or when I worked at the movie theater and I would close and be out at midnight, but I would still be hungry. I'd go home and throw some onion rings or French fries into the oven and make that for myself.
Okay.
But
it's just you got an air fryer, man. Onion rings and French fries are a big thing around here too. Like that's like air fryers are amazing for that stuff. Like
wait, a bologna bowl. What the hell is
that? It's like a microwave for French fries. These air fryers, they're just incredible. It's just bang, put it in there. 10 minutes later, you got awesome stuff. They really are worth it.
But the absolute worst, and like I said, I wasn't. I was a commuter. I was not somebody who lived on campus.
I did that for a while too.
And I went to Buffalo State College, and Buffalo State College is a Division III school, and it's their name. The school name is the Bengals. Well, on campus they had something called Bengal Burger, which basically made McDonald's seem like, like top of the line.
That's your typical like campus hamburger thing. Is just like,
my God, it was.
Even at like nice schools, like it really super up, because we did a lot of college tours last year for my daughter, and we would go to the cafeteria. They part of the college tour would be sometimes, here's like $10 off to go to the cafeteria and eat like the kids will eat, And like I had a couple of those like campus burgers at like nice places like Tufts up in
oh yes, I wasn't I went to University of Houston after Nassau Community, which was in the center of the city, right? So if I went to Kroger, if someone didn't drive us, I walked. And you had to drive, basically you had to walk a mile everywhere. I had to walk a mile to Circle K if I was going to get beer. I had to walk a mile to Kroger if I was going to get it. And I probably had to walk a little further. And our place was Whataburger. That was the place we would hit up. And I ate back there like 6 months ago when I was in Dallas for the Winter Classic. I didn't eat a burger because I don't eat red meat anymore. But I ate, they had like a chicken tender sandwich, and I went to Whataburgers and reunited myself with them.
All I can say is that normally it would take me an hour to get heartburn from McDonald's. It took like 15 seconds to get heartburn from Bengal Burger. So I don't even know if it's in existence anymore, but it was brutal.
Mike, the chat room wants to know, did you wear gray in college all the time?
No, I did not. And I don't wear gray all the time now. This is sky blue. So
it is? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
On the sky, that's what it is? That's a blue sky in Buffalo, which looks gray.
Well, no, actually it's a gray sky in Buffalo because it's Buffalo. And believe me, everybody's in a great mood today in Buffalo after what happened yesterday. We will not go into it. I'm not going to talk about it because it's painful. But as usual, I follow and am a fan of the two teams that have a habit of breaking your heart and ripping it out of your bleeping.
You definitely chest. Do. I think you took the Yankees, and they're pretty solid.
Well, they haven't won a World Series since 2009.
That's true. They are always good.
Yeah, this is a real tough patch for you, Mike. Sorry.
All right, so let's get going. Here we go. Oh man. Here we go. Hello, Hockey World. It is Monday, November 16th, 2020.
I'm Michael Agello, and DeAndre Hopkins, go bleep yourself.
Wow. I'm Russ Cohen. I kind of smiled when that game happened. I did. When it happened.
I said bleep.
I'm actually watching the HockeyBuzzcast on HockeyBuzz.com. This is the podcast that comes every Monday through Friday to tell you when the comings going in the hockey world, even when there is no hockey, which is what we continue to do right now. And we wait for players to get signed. We'll get into a couple of rumors towards the end of the show that I was going through this weekend that were interesting that I posted, but we'll get back to those. Mm-hmm. But first off, we have the just in time for holiday season, we have Adidas has come out with the reverse retro jerseys, which we were thinking about, was going to be what it was going to be like. And I think that they did a pretty good job. We're going to go team by team here.
Oh, I don't know. If some people get those as presents from their parents, they may burn them in front of them. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Well, why don't
these are very good.
why don't we do a thumbs up or thumbs down on all of these?
Yeah, I'm first of all, I'm going to give the general thumbs up to them, okay? Because I think in general, we got a couple of jerseys that I would like to have, like the couple jerseys that I would absolutely buy, and a couple jerseys that are just horrendous. Okay, we're starting with right off the bat here, the Anaheim Ducks. Like bringing back this duck would have been the equivalent of bringing back the fisherman for the Islanders.
Yeah, it's an atrocity. It's like a kid drew it. Basically, I asked the question, and you could, and the chat room can name it too. What do you call the font on the back? I call it like kids' crayon.
It's almost like a Comic Sans type font.
Well, I said that the drawing on front looked like it was written by Emilio Estevez, probably when he was high.
Speaking of steroids, Mike, that's a steroid up duck there. I'll say that much. That's
really
oh my god,
that is definitely a steroid duck. But then,
thumbs down for me on that one.
I like how we got the actual description from each thing too, which is funny. But then we go to the Arizona/Phoenix Coyotes, which to me this will always be the Phoenix Coyotes logo, but I like it. Let me say colors too. Like this is like when you go to Phoenix, this is everything are these colors.
Yeah, but this is
something that you can really.
This is my problem. This is my problem with it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have a problem with the emblem. I don't have a problem with the design of the jersey, but the color. Where is their purple in that jersey? It's a retro reverse.
No,
where is their purple?
Every pottery thing. If you were to walk through like Sedona or something like that, just like in Arizona, every pottery thing is made. That's a very common color among, I guess, the Native American Indians. Like when
it's disconnected from the I mean, if they wanted a cool third color, they could have gone red because there's red in that jersey, but there is no purple. So it's a marginal.
I dig the bottom thing. I dig the bottom part with the
I don't know. Yeah. I think here's what I think they did.
Okay.
I think they got a Jeremy Roenick jersey and they cut it up to the band, and then they got Charlie Brown's jersey and they attached Charlie Brown's bottom of his jersey.
Exactly.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, that's possible. I can do that.
So it's not hideous, but it's a thumbs down for me.
It's a thumbs down, but it's not hideous.
Hey guys, sorry, my dogs are nuts.
That's okay. I'm doing thumbs down, but not hideous.
Thumbs down. I'm giving thumbs up on this one. Thumbs down on the first one, but thumbs up on this one. Okay. And mainly because I really do. I think that this is like when I look at this, I'm reminded of the episode where Homer Simpson goes to the Great Chili Cook-Off. There's Simpsons. You guys are. I don't know.
I remember that one.
So
is that when Itchy and Scratchy decapitate each other?
He eats all this hot chili that he starts hallucinating. He walks into the desert and is greeted by a shaman dog, voiced by the great what's his name? Oh my god. Oh goodness, the famous troubadour who always played music.
Mel Torme
in jails and stuff like that. The famous the man in black. What's his name?
Johnny Cash.
Johnny Cash.
It voices the shaman dog.
Okay.
In this episode. And
so what you're saying is Homer Simpson did an ayahuasca in the desert.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Because of all this hot chili, and this is what this reminds me of, which is why I get a little smile out of it, because I really like that episode a ton. And then moving on to Boston, we saw Boston, talked about Boston before. This is cool. This is like
I love this one. I do.
Thumbs up on this one. I give a thumbs up on this.
I'm going to give a thumbs up. I hate the patch because it's like a smiling circus bear, but I'll live with it because
patch.
I think if you stand like this guy and you lean on something, people will never see the patch. So I think you can get away with it.
I don't think anyone could look cooler than that guy wearing this jersey. I'll tell you that. I can't use it. All right. So then moving on to these.
Although I'm going to say this, Ek. Who wears a hockey jersey and ripped jeans as a guy?
Yeah, something to that. I'll give you that. Okay. These people wouldn't be caught dead in hockey jerseys.
Now let me go first on this one.
Okay,
starting
on Buffalo. I'm sure, Mike, you'd like to say something nice about this jersey. How it really brings back the retro feel of the Sabres.
Well, first of all, it's not retro. It's 90s. It's 90s retro. This was the jersey that they had in red and black. This, Joe Yerdon, and he accurately called this is the butter knife jersey.
Yeah.
And it's so they used the throwback colors, put a buffalo on the bottom of it, put the decapitated goat's head on the shoulder. This is hideous. This is absolutely nobody in their right mind is going to buy this piece of crap. No one.
You know what makes it worse?
By the way, you can't go to the shopnhl.com right now to order these things. That's how, like, if you go to shopnhl.com, it'll just freeze on you. That's
okay. But Eck, I'm going to tell you what makes it worse.
Okay.
I do like the color scheme, but I hate the logo and the patch. What makes it worse is somebody had figured out already that Buffalo's charging $40 more for their jersey than like the Avalanche for theirs.
Really?
$40.
How much is the Avalanche? Is like $225.
$220. Theirs is $260.
Oh wow! All right.
Well, that's because Terry Pagula's got to pay Taylor Hall's contract.
That's exactly what that is. I mean, they could have the worst one though, Mike, was the Buffalo head itself. That was worse. That was the worst jersey they ever had. So this is
no. I'll give you one worse, or at least a tie for worse. That's the Garden Slug that they had.
The slug was bad.
That's kind of what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about with the Buffalo head. That was like a Buffalo head.
Yeah, no, you're talking about the decapitated goat's head. That's on the shoulder. That's the
yes.
Yeah, that's what we call it here. But then the garden slug, we used to call it. Said it looked like Donald Trump's toupee.
Yeah,
and it does. It's like a swooping. It's terrible.
It is terrible. I'll give you that one. All right.
And I know it's not a toupee. I'm just saying.
Next up, we got. So you're giving a thumbs. I'm giving a thumbs up to that. You guys are giving. You're giving a thumbs down to that.
Thumbs
Mike?
Down to Buffalo.
Thumbs down to Buffalo.
All right, Russ has been swayed. I like the simplicity of it. It makes me feel like I want to have dinner. But yep. Besides that, I am. I'm hungry. Like I say, like a couple stories across that sounds like I'm about to check into.
You're gonna eat dinner. You're gonna eat dinner with 2 knives and no fork.
Eat all the meat that Russ never eats. I'm gonna have. That's what I feel like when I do that. All right. Next up, the Calgary Flames, famous. Now, of course, for people who don't understand, a lot of people are like, "Well, the horse." What is it? There's a real
Calgary Corral
element to the Calgary Flames. They should have gone though to the Hitman jersey. Come on, that I had the other day with the cowboy hat.
The Hitman is a great jersey.
But they can't. They wouldn't have the rights to it because it's the Calgary Hitmen, the WHL team. So.
Yeah, but they are. But let's face it. Money can talk, and I think the Calgary Hitmen guys are not exactly getting their.
Sure, none of these owners are spending extra money for that.
No, they did. They did actually, because I did some research on that. They did to get the Quebec jerseys, but we'll talk about that in a second.
Okay.
So I think that Calgary could have gone out of the way. How much money does the person owning the Calgary Hitmen logo really want? I mean,
they're hurting just as much as NHL teams.
Yeah, they would hold them over a barrel, I fear.
No. I'm talking about the vintage Calgary jerseys.
Yeah, they probably still sell those.
Like right now, no, they're hurting as much as they're going to take money. But I mean, anything. My gosh, you give them a piece, give them a small piece of that. Come on, that's what's happening.
I mean, you could have gone and did an Atlanta Flames jersey. I'm sure that would have been popular in Calgary.
Well, there's a rodeo element. The Calgary Stampede. Obviously, the Calgary Stampede is the most famous rodeo in the world.
I don't hate this. I don't
I'm
like
giving
it.
thumbs up. I'm going thumbs up.
I'll go. I think that this is the horse with COVID to me. It looks like this horse.
Jesus!
Needs to have
the horse is breathing fire. Like that's.
I know. That's. I mean, it needs to have its temperature taken. Next up, the Whalers jersey, which of course is the Carolina Hurricanes. I love the fact that Hurricanes haven't continued to embrace this. This to me is something that I love.
It's not embrace. It's rob. And I told you, first of all, Tom Dundon is a cheapskate who's making money off of the town that used to have the team. I know people who are from Connecticut who are pissed off that they're using the Hartford way. Honestly, I wish what they would have done. I wish they would have done the New England. I wish it would have.
When they bought the go ahead, New England Whalers.
No, I wish they would have done the whale, the New England Whalers whale. Yeah. That would have been cool. But they've done it already. It's not that
slam dunk for them. I mean, come on. First of all, when the Hartford Whalers were bought and moved, they bought this logo with it. They bought the whole thing. So why not take advantage of it? I mean, this is something that was in that purchase.
I get what you're saying, Eck. I'm gonna go thumbs down because it's fugazi. Like Mike said, it's forced. I would rather go buy a $350 original Hartford Whaler jersey of like Bernie Nichols.
Wow, you guys are tough. This is one of the best ones, I think.
Sylvain Turner.
It's in Mike Augello vintage gray. Come on, it's the perfect color for you. All right, next up the Blackhawks jersey, which you sort of see from the side here. But this is basically we've seen this jersey before. This is not really.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. I'm
okay with it. It's sort of boring, but it's okay. I mean,
with the original 6, they kind of kept kept it down. Like the original 6 doesn't need like a flying duck.
Right. They toned it down for original 6. They did.
They did. I like that idea. All right. Now we get to the killer. Okay.
Oh boy.
So this is going to be controversial. Now, knowing that what I know and what I posted here, that the Quebec Nordiques are probably like maybe 3 to 5 years away from returning to the NHL. I was surprised that this happened, but still, I love it. Okay, the Colorado Avalanche and the Quebec, they have done a good job in Colorado at like continuing on as one franchise. I'll give them that. Like more than most places, they do honor the Quebec heritage of this team.
Yeah, they not only stole the Quebec franchise, now they've stolen their jersey.
Why not? But you see, they had the puck in blue. Why couldn't they put the Lafleur in blue?
Yeah. And here's why I think, because hey guys, there's obviously a disagreement going on about this jersey.
Or maroon, whatever you want to call that.
Here's why I think that's the case, Russ. I think that the Quebec Nordiques are coming back, and I think that I think in the back of the NHL's mind, they wanted no confusion that this was.
Yeah, well, you know what? This is ugly. I'm going thumbs down
because I think that you're going to get a Nordiques. You're going thumbs down on this.
Yeah,
it's not. It's not.
Oh my goodness!
They needed to go blue on the bottom, and they didn't.
It's not thumbs. It's not thumbs down on the jersey because I love the Nordique jersey. It's thumbs down on the fact that the Colorado Avalanche stole this jersey, just like Hartford and Carolina. You don't go back to a previous franchise to steal their jersey.
Oh, I think that's fantastic when they do that. I like that a lot. Anyway, I'm just going to disagree. Columbus Blue Jackets. This is my least favorite Columbus logo that they've ever had. I'm kind of upset that they put this on. I mean, I'm not actually fans of any of the Blue Jackets uniforms except for the one that they did that sort of reminds this event that's kind of like the Chicago Blackhawks thing up here. That was like, remember that?
Yeah.
That was this is the Blue Jackets should have gone like very retro, like, you know, American Revolutionary.
I like it. I'm giving thumbs up. This is like the Dan Fritschke era. I'm good with
it. Those fans really want to remember, right? Dan Fritschke.
I don't
that team see.
I don't mind this jersey, but Russ, tell me this doesn't look like the Michael Pavanka era Washington Capitals jersey.
It does a little bit. I had to do a double take. I did.
Right. Another great era of Capital hockey.
But I don't mind it. I don't mind it.
I hate it.
The other thing though, why does it always have to be the captain's jersey? There are some very not good captains that would be associated with some of these jerseys.
That's true. I guess you just wanted to see what color the C would be, I guess. I don't know. But to me, here's the thing about the problem I have with this. As an American, okay, this team, the one thing this team has going for it is that this is the Blue Jackets, this is the Revolutionary War Americans, right, Mike? I mean, you're like, this is
no,
America.
the Blue Jackets are Civil War.
They're Civil War.
Right, Civil War, yes.
Okay. Right. But they also wore because Mike's the historian, that's why I wanted to get that through. So your history major, Mike, you can write off the show. Write off part of your student loans now. All right, so
they're already paid off.
Okay, good. Well, then you didn't do that right because you'd have written this off. You could have done it. Anyway, let's moving on to this. So that if it's a Blue Jacket team, it can't be in red. I mean, the basic concept of this is let's have it be a blue team. I mean, there's blue
jacket in there. There's no such thing as a Blue Jacket. Anyhow, I give thumbs up.
There is such thing as a Blue Jacket. It's the jackets that were worn during the war times, right?
Yeah, I know.
All right, Dallas Stars. They missed the boat on this one.
Yeah, they
did the honorable thing.
They went with the green. They brought the green, but the green now, and everybody's like they're green, and they are green now, guys. It's not like they bring back the green, but they should have gone to the green and gold, vintage Minnesota North Stars colors.
No, they didn't want to do that. They are classy.
Yes, I give Dallas credit that they did not whore themselves and take the North Stars.
2 thumbs up for this.
But this jersey is basically the flip of the 99 Dallas Stars jersey, which was I think black and green, the home and the road. They didn't. I don't know if they had a white one, but this is basically a flip color of that, and it's sort of boring. But because they didn't whore themselves, I'll give them a thumbs up.
No, listen, you could be proud.
You guys are going, Mike. You're more moralistic on this whole jersey thing than just
here's what I would do.
How it looks. I'm going on how it looks.
If I wore that jersey, I would proudly stand in the crease with that jersey on.
Yeah. You would stand heads. I like that joke. Good joke. So Mike, in the chat room, Mark Elias kind of nailed this one. I think it was Mark said that the Blue Jackets jersey here looks like an All-Star game jersey. I totally agree with that. That That is something I have.
But that's okay. I mean, that's something.
Too many stars on this jersey, like the stars on the sleeves, like that. Anyway, moving on. The Detroit Red Wings, the hardest,
the most
hardest
boring
design
jersey.
for, because they are just red and white and have been the most simplest of designs. They've never even gone any even at least we'll talk about Toronto. At least they've done some things with their sleeves in the past. But this is this Red Wings thing.
This is this looks like a top for a like somebody going to bed. It's the most
It does look
boring
like a women's jersey of I think like something a jersey your girlfriend would wear to sleep.
It looks like underoos.
Right. Yeah.
Where the gray comes from. There's no gray. They needed a third color, I guess. But
yeah, I'm thumbs down on this. The gray is
boring.
awful.
Yeah, I would have gone with just the wheel part of the Red Wing and just put that in the middle.
That would have been cool, actually.
That would have been kind of cool, right? And put like the wings themselves like up on the
sleeves. Get rid of the gray. The gray is just such a
like having the wings up on the sleeves here, just and then just the circle in the middle. That would circle in the middle would have been kind of cool.
They could have done what they did for the Winter Classic, which was the nameplate that had Detroit going across the
that would be fine.
Edmonton Oilers. This has gotten some people really like this one.
Boring.
This really does look like they combined every jersey they've ever had together.
It really does.
Boring. Really boring.
Loses. I mean, graphics design. We need a graphics designer on here. Does anybody out there, but graphics designer, help?
I know.
Something's wrong with this jersey. Like, something's wrong with this Edmonton's jersey, and I can't figure out what it is. But it's not appealing to me. Like there's something about it. I don't know where it seems because maybe it's this. Like it's the harsh, the hard shoulders, and then these thin lines down, like thin lines here together. Like you don't usually see those together on a jersey. It's usually at least Detroit didn't. They had the lines on the sleeves, but nothing on the shoulders. Like seeing
all they really did, was flip the shoulder boards. I don't think they were orange before. I think they were blue, so they flipped it to orange and they flipped the lines. That's all it looks like they did.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I'm giving thumbs down because it looks like 70s era tube socks.
There you go. I like see that. I like it a little bit more now that you said that. I can get that. Like this is like somebody in White Man Can't Jump wear.
Yeah. Or White Shadow.
The White Shadow. That's what I'm thinking of. The White Shadow. This like the guy pulling on these tube socks. I like that. There you go. That makes me at least have something to connect to.
Salami. Hey, salami.
They say these jerseys are a nod to the Oilers' inaugural season, which was also Wayne Gretzky's first NHL season. So I don't know. It's I mean the Oilers have an amazing logo. I've always liked their logo itself. I think it's a great logo.
It's better than that stupid rock with the oil in the middle of it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I would have just taken
although to be fair, I am very friendly with Todd McFarlane. He helped create that. I can't rip it.
I can. You could have the Exxon Valdez floating along.
I don't like the rock. I would have taken like elements, like again, like the little like oil drip here, like the orange oil drip. Just make that be in of itself the whole logo. Take if you're gonna do something, like take it like that. Like that's how I would have taken it. But anyway, that's me. The Florida Panthers jersey
is basically the '96 jersey.
It is.
I'm fine with it. I
never liked it then. I don't like it now. I do love the Florida. The one thing I'll say about these Adidas jerseys, if this is like an actual representation, which is these are actual jerseys, the logos are huge. Just
that's an enormous logo.
Enormous, which I like. I'm a big fan of that because the cheapest jerseys always was like smaller logos to me. Like my parents always get me like the Flyers jersey with the tiny logo in the middle. I'm like, this doesn't feel right,
Whoever designed these jerseys obviously is visually impaired because they had to make the emblem so monstrous. I mean, it's out of proportion. I think it's a
great emblem. I love the Panther emblem. I think it's a great emblem, but
you could get two uses out of this jersey if you just put the name Bore on it and don't put a number.
What's there two uses?
Well, the two Bores. Then they both play.
That's true. Yeah, just get Bure. Yeah,
Valerie. You forget about Valerie. Come on.
Yeah. Some people like it. Some people are okay with it. Funky calls this a Euro jersey. I think I can see that a little bit. I mean, it doesn't have like Svalaka written across the bottom or something.
I'm giving it a thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
All right, next up, the Kings. I thought this is where they were going to go. I wish I should have said it. I was like we were talking to.
This is fantastic.
Okay, so this is the Gretzky era Kings logo,
right?
On the purple jersey,
right? But they instead of going with the solid gold on the bottom and the solid gold on the sleeves, they went gold and white, which is fine. I like the combination. I think this is probably one of the better ones. So I'd give it thumbs up.
Yeah, it's to me. This does again. This looks like there's some like people who make like the jerseys that you can buy that are like split in half down the middle that you can see like half of one and half the other.
I just remember Dave Taylor telling me that is Forum Blue and Forum Yellow. That's what they used to call it. So
yeah,
and I'm
not purple.
Right. They didn't want to say it was purple.
All right, the Wild jersey. Everybody likes that. Kings are awesome. People are saying Johnny Red says Kings are awesome in our chat room. If you want to be a part of our chat room, go to YouTube and check out. Just click on this site. If you're watching from our website, which is nice of you, we appreciate that. That's
Minnesota gets to pull this off. I give them thumbs up.
Yes. Okay, so this is the North Stars. This is a tip to the North Stars. They could have done more North Stars though. They could have the top. Like to me, the sleeves up here was a big part of the North Stars jersey. The top green here that you see on the right
now,
here.
Why on this one do they not have the C, or can you not see it?
It's not there. Yeah. I guess like the Wild don't have a captain.
What about Wes Walz? Come on.
Yeah, Wes Walz, another great era. But I mean, their logo.
Manny Fernandez. Come on.
Their logo actually looks cooler in this color than any color I've ever seen it. Like.
Yes.
In this color,
I
never got this that the logo had trees on it before. Like
that's the
weird.
What do you think it is?
Yeah. I never knew what that was. I never saw that this is a sunset. I think there's a.
It's one of the great logos in the league. Actually,
it is an incredible logo.
I wonder whether the Wild and
the river. That's crazy.
I wonder whether the Wild and the Stars coordinated the fact that neither one used the N for the North Stars. I mean, I like the fact that Dallas didn't go back to there, and Minnesota, all they did was go to the colors. I like this. I like it a lot, so I'd give it a thumbs up.
Yeah, like some say there's Drew in the chat says they should keep these colors, and Mike says the ugliest so far is the Wild. I don't think this is the ugliest so far. Okay.
Nope.
This is like. I mean, we got to remember the Anaheim Ducks. That exists.
Oh, the Anaheim Ducks way exceeds anything.
But that exists. There's nothing that can really touch that. All right, so this is the only color I guess the Canadians have the only color combination we've never seen from them, right? Of the red, white, and blue. Like this is all we can do.
Yeah.
Which is, and I'm glad they went with it.
I'll give you a about that. They still have one of the great logos in hockey.
So they have one of the great logos in sports. I mean,
I hate the team with a passion, but I like this jersey. I was hoping they didn't go with the barbershop pole, the one that gave people epileptic fits. That one was terrible. But this is nice. I mean, I think that's as a third jersey. I think they should keep this around because you got the white jersey.
You can put Damfoos on that in your set.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's one issue I have with this jersey as a Habs fan, okay? Because I own every kind of Habs jersey you could possibly have. Like I have the Carey Price Winter Classic jersey. I have a whole bunch of things. But the Habs, there's one problem with this, and can anyone in the chat room or you guys tell me what the problem with this jersey is?
Do you have a Doug Sotar jersey yet? Because
sure, absolutely.
You should. Doug Sotar was awesome.
What is the problem with the Habs jersey, guys, in the chat room? Anybody think?
Sergio Momesso,
number 20. Yeah, it's when Tretiak played for them.
Yeah.
No, the problem with this is pretty obvious, I think, and I know the chat room is a little bit.
The pull strings on the neck.
That's just they're wearing a hoodie.
That's
right?
the hoodie.
Okay. It's real small underneath your shirt.
It's real small on my screen, so I can't.
Bottom strip is that's. All right, I'll give you bottom strip is not the greatest. Drew, I agree. But that's not the real issue with this. The real issue with this is there's something that's always been cool about the jersey. Too much blue? Nah, funky almost. I mean, I could say maybe, but that's not really what I'm seeing.
The whole world, So
all right, this whole world. The bottom. I'm kind of letting the chat room gather up a little bit. The one cool thing about this is
or the thing that you don't like about it.
The thing I hate about this is the number placement on the sleeves. The number placement needs to be in this in like the in the red band.
Oh, I see, in the red zone.
That's part of the Habs thing.
Okay.
That I've always loved. Anyway, just letting you know. All right, moving on. Okay. Predators.
Where's there anything different here?
They've never had this jersey before. That's what's different. I mean, they've never. This reminds you. It is kind of a tip to their original jersey.
I mean, I recognize the guy modeling it. He was supposed to score 35, 40 goals a year, and he ended up getting 7 when they acquired him in a trade.
Yeah, he's also apparently a fan of the Coyotes. I've noticed. So, but anyway, there he is. Yeah. Anyway, so here he is. Isn't he the guy from Entourage? Anyway, so I mean, the pointed thing on the sleeves, like the sleeves stripped coming down to a point.
I'm okay with it. I'm giving thumbs up.
I mean, it reminds me a little bit. It's all right, I guess. It's okay.
I'm sort of like comme ci comme ça. I
think the Predators have yet to find their really cool. Like I would have liked a guitar that the neck turns into a hockey stick or something like that. Like something they needed to do something. They haven't yet to find their cool other thing. Like they have done the stars. They have a great logo. The saber-tooth tiger is a cool logo. Although it feels a little collegey to be. I kind of get that, but I think that I don't know. Preds. Yeah. No one really has anything on the Preds. All right, so then the Devils, green. Going back to the green, of course, was a natural. The green and red Christmas team that they were way back when. This basically feels like their first jersey that I remember.
Yeah, it's the Chris Terreri what was it? Who was the goal? Jim McKenzie era Devils.
Well, this is the first time, though, according to this, that they're wearing a primarily green jersey.
There's too many rings. You know what it is? It's like they added an extra layer to like Neapolitan ice cream, like they threw.
I was just watching the Great British Bake Off. It's like when they they cut it.
Russ, they look like a candy cane, is what they look like.
It does look like a candy cane.
Yeah, I mean, and to me, the Devils, because of the strings, because of the stripes down here, the Devils logo itself feels like it's placed too low. You notice that?
Mm.
I don't know. But here's what I would have done with this.
I just saw Chris Terreri gave a thumbs up.
I know you guys will hate this because you guys are losers, but I know you'll hate this. But the concept that if we're going back to like old teams here, like incorporating the Cleveland Barons and Colorado Rockies into this jersey would have been fun somehow.
Russ, Joe Sorella loved it on Twitter.
He did. You know what? That's a great point. If they'd have done something Rockies here, I'd go in.
Like, it's like a rolling, like a slight bump of a hill that you get in North Jersey, like not a Colorado Rocky.
Yeah, because then you could get a Don Cherry.
Yeah, and the arrow.
I would like the Rockies thing, like instead of like a Colorado, like a little Colorado Rockies mountain, except in the middle where that C normally is, an NJ or something like that. What do you mean?
And the arrow from the J is pointing towards this guy's appendix.
Right there, you go. Yeah, this is where your appendix is located. Actually, Mike, that's the wrong side, I think, isn't it? Your appendix.
No, it's on the right side.
I don't remember. I lost mine a long time ago.
I still have mine.
Yeah. Now the Islanders. This is a retro jersey, or this is just the Islanders.
This is just nothing. Like I don't even know if we should vote on this. They did nothing.
I feel like they've had this jersey before.
Russ, tell Eck about the controversy regarding this.
What's the controversy on this one?
Oh, the controversy regarding this, Eck, is believe it or not, I would say, and again, I'm only using this on Twitter. I would say 55% of the Islander fans on Twitter wanted to see the Fishermen, and they were upset that they didn't. And then there was 40% that didn't want to see the Fishermen, and most of those were media and older fans, and they were killing it. And then there was like a gigantic argument that was going on, and people were just getting nasty about it.
I mean, the problem is that the Islanders have done everything in terms of they had an orange jersey before. They had obviously the white and then the blue. So there was nothing they could really. So what they did was they just didn't do anything. This is
the mark of Lou Lamoriello as your leader, because they weren't going to do anything.
Right. It's boring as hell. So
yeah, like there is an alternate jersey of the Islanders that I always love.
Lou didn't do much with the Devils one either. That was all he would allow for the Devils, if you remember.
Right.
No, that's true. This old Islanders jersey. I'm going to show you a picture here of this one if I can find it. Where is it? Yeah, okay, here it is. I'm going to share this real fast, and we'll come back to the other thing. Where is it? Did I screw this up? Hold on. No, I didn't. Okay, we're going to share this. Okay, here. We'll come right back to the screen. But there's an old Islanders jersey that I liked. I was expecting them to bring back in, and it's this one here. So here we go. Sorry, here we go. This one was just quicker somehow. This jersey. Remember this Islanders jersey?
Yeah.
I do.
I really liked the way it looked. I thought it looked really cool. I thought it was unique.
It looked good. Like when he's lifting his arms there, it looks good.
Yeah,
it's very slimming.
The problem is in that era, they didn't lift their arms that much. Brett Sopel will tell you about that.
Well, Russ, Brett Sopel right there, actually, next to him, isn't it?
I know.
Russ, I mean, it's very slimming looking, which is why it would be great if Dustin Byfuglien played for the Islanders.
Yeah. I think that is Miro Shatan, I will say.
It is Shatan, yeah.
But to me, I like this jersey so much that my men's league actually took this jersey. We put our own logo on it, but like ordered this style of jersey way back when.
I would have liked this.
It's a really cool jersey.
Yeah, like Mark says, lots of tang in that jersey.
Yeah. Plenty. So the Islanders are kind of like, what did they do? Like, who like said, okay,
nothing?
Did they just forget the Islanders were a team or something like that, and just say, oh wait, we got 30 teams, right? There's 30 NHL teams.
I will tell you this. Look, even though I grew up a Ranger fan, I always drew the Islanders logo. Because I always liked the outline of Long Island in the logo.
Yeah,
I always thought that was a good logo.
It's a fun one to draw. I used to draw it too. I know what I mean. As a kid, I would draw that one a lot. All right, now, Rush, you got your wish. Remember this? Like, you wanted this. This is what you.
This is the way you stand, so you don't have to show the patch off. But this is great.
Right, like that. That's a guy who. I
don't like the patch.
Showing that he's like, is this really the modeling job I got? Wearing this jersey, like to me,
that guy is the perfect Ranger fan now because he's been to 2 games in his life. He got free tickets. He got free tickets for his company on like a Tuesday night, and those are the only Ranger games he's ever been to.
Russ, Margot Robbie has been to more games than this guy.
It does look like, I think Timothy, I think it was, who I think has some like, or somebody in the chat room said it looks like this logo is too low too, and like it was put on the last.
It is too low. I agree with that. Whoever said that, they're right.
I mean, maybe it was just put on. Maybe this could be a comp type thing where they put it together. It could
be. Yeah, you're right.
Photoshopped on there almost. Like
because look, even when you look at the Sens one is more centered.
Yeah, our Preds slash Coyotes fan again from Entourage modeling the Senators jersey.
Yeah, and Drew got it right. The reason why we like this as Ranger fans because Mike Richter had this on his helmet.
Yeah, and that's like that. There's no
on his mask. When I say helmet, I'm still in football mode. But yes, he had that on his mask, and we all like that.
Yeah, we all definitely like that. That was yeah. So the Senators one,
it's pretty boring.
I'll take it. I like the black and the numbers in the black. Like X said, I'm good with it.
Yeah, the numbers.
It's
for the numbers.
It's not bad. It's just not. I mean, I've seen this jersey. They've had this.
Feels
jersey
like it. I mean, the best thing the Sens have going for them is red and black is like a fantastic color combination. It always has been. And it's like, and the more you can emphasize red and black without white, the better. Like to me, like red and black without white is like an incredible color combination.
Now I'm giving thumbs up on this too. 2 thumbs up on this one. This is a hard one, good one for me.
So just put the Alexander Day nameplate on it, and it'll be perfect.
The jersey of the Sens wearing so they're saying this is their inaugural season jersey updated with a red base to reflect the team's recent rebranding. And
that inaugural season was one to remember. That's for sure.
Yeah, that was one of the worst of all time, wasn't it?
Yes.
Well, not as bad as the Caps, but they're up there.
Yeah. All right. Now the Flyers jersey.
I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
The bottom white is like, even if you just want to use it from a logical perspective, if you're getting a cheesesteak, everything is ending up on your on the bottom white sleeve.
I thought
you need to roll up your sleeves when you're eating a cheesesteak.
Yeah,
right?
See, a giant slice. Yeah, it all ended up on there.
Russ, I thought something different. If Donald Brashear is wearing this jersey, the sleeves are going to be soaked with blood.
Yeah, I agree. And if they're not also remember they're wearing black.
He's not driving 195 on the highway.
They're wearing black gloves, so you're going to have black, orange, black, white, black coming down the sleeves because black gloves, are like that's another thing. So
actually, what was Brashear driving? Like 140 on the highway?
Yeah, something ridiculous. Yeah, yeah, he was nuts. What I don't like about
down on the Flyers one.
I don't Flyers, the white trim here on the top sleeve thing, I can't stand it.
I don't like it.
I never liked that when they put that the Flyers went to that orange sleeve thing with the black trim there that was dark like this and like a dark band of black. I hated that too. Like that was and they got rid of that finally, which was nice because that black trim really it just like was like, I don't know, felt lazy. Anyway,
it feels like they cut it off at the bottom and they're missing like white or something else at the bottom to at least offset.
I'm surprised they didn't go to white on the bottom. You're right.
Now, if they would have put those 3D numbers on the back of them, like they had a few years back, then it would be the worst jersey ever.
Flyers 3D third 3D jersey is the worst jersey, one of the worst jerseys ever. All right, now we're getting this is really confusing to me. Here's our here's our guy again in the Sharks jersey. How many? Do they have like four models they could afford to pay here or something like that?
I'm going to just say this, and I'm not going to say it to offend anybody.
Yeah.
But if you're a fat guy, nobody's going to be able to read the whole Pittsburgh on the on the jersey.
You're from Spurg.
You got to be 150 pounds like this guy to be able to read it.
No, Russ. If he's a fat guy, it's going to be curved.
Yeah.
It'll be curved. Yeah. To me, they got lazy on this one too. Like this is.
I don't like it.
I don't like it.
No, I mean they should have brought the like I would have gone with like the light blue jerseys that they've had. That they should have brought that in.
Yeah, something with the powder blue would have been great.
I'm surprised they didn't because that's exactly what this kind of thing is. Like I'm surprised they didn't do it in the powder blue or like powder blue and yellow is a cool combination. They could have done something with that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I know that the Penguins wore the name across. I think they did it in the 70s. I know they brought it back. They brought it back in the 90s as a third jersey, but the only thing with this one is they went white instead of black, and I don't know.
City has more letters than that. They're basically pointing out how many letters the city has. Like, what city would have more letters than that?
No, I know it's the worst. It's of all the teams to put down.
Los Angeles.
You can't even see the H on this, Russ. I mean, that's how big it is.
I know.
Mary Lemieux won the sixth scoring title during the season that they wore these jerseys in black. But the biggest cultural impact came from a diagonal lettering jersey he and rapper Snoop Dogg wore in their respective.
Oh, Jesus!
Wow, really? Okay.
So they're going for the Snoop Dogg fan base, which the Venn diagram of Snoop Dogg fans and hockey fans is not that big of a connection.
Not that good.
Yeah.
It'd have been better going for Corona fans.
Sharks, not bad. Okay. Sharks, not terrible.
Corona beer. Okay. Just letting you know.
I prefer Dos Equis.
Way back when this whole thing started as a joke, I got my wife a case of Corona, because I thought it'd be funny, like a silly thing. That when we didn't know how serious this whole thing would be. Still sits over there.
Yeah.
I do have a Sharks windbreakery throwover thing with that logo. I like the logo.
I love the logo. The logo's is a great logo. I think the gray is cool too. And
I'm going to give it a thumbs up, but I'm hesitant. It looks like a sweatshirt.
Gray is hard to pull off, Mike, as Mike knows. Gray is tough to pull off
but I do it very well.
You definitely try every possible way. But gray is so ambiguous. It's just like, and it really does look dirty or not. It's hard to say. Like, white. Is it white? Is it not white? If you're wearing this jersey, like, I don't know. And then the one thing they did like that they kept the thin numbers, which I think is part of the Sharks thing.
I don't like the reverse V on the arms. Is that supposed to be like a shark's tooth because it's pointing up?
It is weird that we don't usually. That's not usually the way that would go. I thought that did strike me as well.
Sure, that is the opposite.
Are you required to wear a hoodie with all these jerseys? Is that something that's required?
You have to buy the hoodie from the NHL.com too.
It must have been cold in the studio.
I don't know. It's so crazy. All right, but I don't think it's terrible. I'm going to give it I gave it
a thumbs up, but I'm hesitant.
Yeah, I wouldn't buy it, but anyway, the Blues one. Here's
the problem, Mick. It's mostly not blue,
and it's not a good red. The problem is it's not like I don't know if it's because of the red.
It's like an orange.
It's not really orange either. But
it's like an orange red.
Now, do you remember I think it was in the 90s, they had the jerseys where it was basically it was blue with yellow, and then it had like little red or little orange like linings on the front. That all they did was flip that and make the whole jersey that color. It's not terrible, but again, it's
the
like
trumpet on the patch is awful.
Yeah, it's like the Arizona purple jersey. It's really disconnected in terms of color from anything in their history. So
I mean, why the trumpet? Why not a stand-up bass? Like, I don't understand.
Well, here's the other thing too, from a musician's perspective. Okay.
No, but why the trumpet? It could be a stand-up bass. It could be it
could be.
It could be a drum set, a single drum set.
Could be a trombone or a tuba if you're Patrick Maroon.
Clarinet. I played the clarinet.
I think the red is weird, and also these thin lines across here I think are supposed to represent music staff. But music staffs are 5, so there's 4 of these. That's what's confusing me. Just maybe
it's supposed to be E, G, B, D, and then there's no line for F.
Right. All cows eat grass. All cows eat grass, Russ. All right, here we go. Every good boy does fine.
Every good boy does fine, and then faces. I still know that.
There you go. All right, Tampa.
This is the Paul Eisebart version of the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Here's our guy again from Entourage.
Yeah, he's a big Chris Gratton fan.
He's a big Chris Gratton fan, obviously.
Roman Hammerlick.
Did they tell these people to look as if you've just eaten something bad? Like, why do they all have this expression on their faces? Anyway,
because the jersey sucks.
No, they're being too cool for the room is what it is. And the NHL is very good at being too cool for the room.
I don't like this one. I'm going thumbs down.
No, I think that Tampa Bay.
You know what's not emphasized? The Lightning part. It's de-emphasized in this.
I don't like mixing up fonts in the same thing. This is like there's different fonts here altogether.
Yeah, they are mixing fonts.
And they're both italicized, which is weird. There's a bunch of things that's going on here. I don't get that. No. I'm thumbs down on that one. All right. Toronto Maple Leafs.
Let me go here.
Go ahead, Mike.
Okay.
I'll be back.
This is totally asinine. This jersey. First of all, you've got
expecting such a different response from you, but go on, continue.
Okay, you've got an absolutely monstrous leaf emblem on it. Now, the only good thing about this is they used the right emblem. They used that's the 67 leaf emblem, which is cool. But
it's a winner.
It was. But it's too friggin' big. It's just absolutely monstrous. And then the absolute indignity is they slap it on the Harold Ballard loser era jersey with the white shoulder boards and the round letters. This. I mean, no Leaf fan. I saw somebody was taking a survey. I think it was like 80% of Leaf fans think this is hideous. If they think they're going to make money off of this, the only thing they're going to make money is when they have it at an 85% sale, so people could use it as a rag to clean their friggin' car. It's hideous.
This is going to sell a ton. Trust me.
It's hideous.
Anything you put Toronto Maple Leafs on sells, So
no, not this, Zach. I'm telling you, not this.
I'm going to go thumbs up because no Leaf fan would buy it. That's why I would buy it.
I always thought when they stealing the sleeve and bottom part of the Flyers jersey was.
I like the side sleeve. I do. The side sleeve is good.
Sleeve and the bottom thing are very Flyers-esque.
It is.
But I think that's all right. And I don't know. The logo is kind of big. I would have maybe gone white and blue, because I don't like the blue logo on the blue thing. Like that's kind of weird.
You could see that
logo white, Mike. When
I don't know. You could see this emblem from the Hubble telescope in space.
Yeah, it would be better if it was white, though.
I is working.
Yeah, I don't know. The Leafs jersey straddles two seasons with the logo from the 1969-70 jersey and the striping of the 1970-71 jersey.
It's
both jerseys last very long.
It's the striping of from 70 to like the late 80s. Leafs, which is a great winning era for Maple Leaf fans.
If they had tire tracks on the back that ran over it, then it would make sense.
Yeah, right. There you go. The Canucks jersey is an abomination to nature.
It's an abomination. It is.
This is horrendous in every which way. I want to say that,
Why did they not? Why did they not go back to the Flying V?
I know the big Flying V. I have that jersey. I love it. And Flying V in this color scheme would have been kind of interesting.
Yeah, all you need is a number 11 and a bag of potato chips.
I was going to say Messier. This is Messier.
Yeah,
it's just different colors. So big deal.
I think the Flying V. Someone brought this up to me. Is expensive to make because of the way it was cut. Like you had to sew it differently. Because there's a general thing.
Everybody quit when they went to sew it because it's so ugly.
Right. It was an amazing era. That jersey, when I first saw that jersey, I was at a Flyers game when the Canucks came to town. The first time I saw that jersey with the Flying V.
I mean, I'm sure like Stan Smeal. I'm sure Stan Smeal has about 20 of them in his closet.
Yeah.
Right. And for people who think I talked to them the other day. They're like, "What's a Canuck?" And this guy said to me, a Canuck's a killer whale. I'm like, no, it's not.
It's not.
There is confusion about that based on what they've done.
Is a nickname term for like a Canadian.
A Canadian.
It's
correct.
a derogatory term for a Canadian. Actually.
No, it's not derogatory.
No, I don't think it's derogatory.
No, it's not derogatory.
No.
I mean, just you Canuck, right? Don't be such a Canuck. Is what I always heard using them in like you kind of like.
No, I think it's like calling somebody who's British a Brit. I think it's the same kind of.
Okay.
Or if somebody was an American in England, they called you a Yank.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah. But anyway, they're not killer whales. no matter how you slice it. Now moving on to the Vegas Golden Knights, which really looks like the Buffalo Sabres to me.
It did. It took me 3 times to figure out what team this was.
Yeah, this is hideous because I don't know what the hell it has any. First of all, they should have been exempt because they're only
they should
3
have.
years.
I'm with you on that one.
They really should have. Why do this?
Yeah, I mean, to me, they retro jersey for a team that's been in the league for 3 years.
They should have just had a picture of Wayne Newton as the logo.
We're going to like the Vegas Gamblers, like that logo, like or something like from way back, like some
or make a gold jersey or something like that.
Yeah, just like a solid gold jersey, or just a jersey like it was a big chip with a 25 in the middle of it or something like that. I don't know. And they could have done something
this is a big thumbs down.
I think red is the wrong color for them to go to for sure. The cool thing about them is
it's not even real red because like the Capitals is sort of like a red, so it's another different red.
There's a lot of red jerseys in this thing, by the way, which shows you that red's usually a highlight feature color in jerseys, and now they've made it the feature color.
And this guy's not a captain either.
Right.
Well, the captain is on the other side on the Capitals.
I was going to say, like all of them are on the left shoulder, and this one's on the right
because the Flying Eagle, which is again, this is the worst Capitals jersey of all time.
Yeah, it's awful. It's a thumbs down.
This is Peter Bondra to me. But then that is a giant logo, the Flying Eagle there.
It is giant. I mean,
depending on how this might be a small woman, but I don't know. This is really big.
Yeah, that's the late 90s Capitals jersey. Then again, I mean that was the Ron Wolfson era when they made the Cup final. So
yeah, that was. No, I remember.
Now
jersey.
Now I like this Jets. I don't know what the reaction is in Winnipeg. I like the way this Jets jersey looks. I like it.
I'm okay with it.
I'm okay with it. I'll give it a thumbs up.
I mean, I love bringing back the logo for sure. I wish I would do it all the time. I mean, the cool thing about the logo is its blueness, though. I would have kept the logo blue in this thing. If they kept the logo like more, I mean, I know they're trying to use the colors of the actual of the new team. So, but there is blue in that, and like the sleeves. I mean, make the sleeve color the same as they.
Yeah, I'm okay with this though.
And yes, guys, I like it because it's gray. There you go.
It is gray. It looks like it's almost like black and white. This logo for some reason to me. Like, I mean, maybe because I don't see colors the greatest, but it's like crazy how I can almost not discern the different blues and grays, and like this blue on this gray. For anyone who's color blind, will not exist. So
I mean, don't ask if it's silver or gold because we're not answering.
Yeah. So I mean, overall, I think I'd say there's maybe 10 or 12 that I thought are really good, and I thought the rest were trash.
Yeah. And I get that. I mean, this jet here, this actual jet is that part of the normal Winnipeg Jets jersey?
Yeah. Yes.
Winnipeg Jets logo, the old logo.
Yeah. Yes, but I think the jet was red.
Right. Okay. Right.
I'm pretty sure it was.
All right. Well, there you have it, guys. That's our trip down memory/reverse memory lane, I guess. I don't know what you want to call it, but anyway.
Yeah. Reverse retro.
This is definitely something that the NHL. It helps the NHL a lot right now, I think. I wonder what percentage of these jersey sales go to the teams themselves and what go to the league itself. But
I did notice, if people want to see it, I laughed when I saw that Troy Westwood of Winnipeg Blue Bombers fame actually ranked them. I almost tweeted to him and say I would rather see a ranking of mullets because I felt like he would be in the top 5.
Yeah.
But Doug Flutie's number 1.
No, but Westwood carried that into the 20 deep into the 20th century. Flutie didn't.
Yeah, that's true. They say the jet looks like a track suit. I can see that a little bit.
It looked warmer than the rest, which is good.
Yeah.
So you said you had a couple rumors, Zach?
I do have a couple rumors. So one, yesterday I wrote about this. The Mike Hoffman thing continues to sort of baffle me because it felt like they had at one point figured out something for him, and he was telling some teams that he wasn't going to go there, which was which you usually don't see. Team turn, usually when someone's calling around saying we've made a decision to go elsewhere, you see a signing quickly afterwards. But that was 2 weeks ago now, and we haven't seen anything from that. So, but I have heard that Montreal, is seriously interested in Montreal to do anything in this to make this happen at all for Montreal. They really have to. They have to make another move. Apparently, I'm not sure what that is going to be.
is going to go last minute to whoever he thinks is the best team that'll give him closest to $5 million. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, a place where he can score, where he's going to be set up to like play on the power play a lot. That's right.
It would probably be Thomas Tatar because he's making $4.8 million and he's in the UFA at the end of the year. But again, with the situation around the league, I don't know who's taking Thomas Tatar at that amount.
Yeah, I mean, I know. Again, I mean, Vegas liked Thomas Tatar, but they can't do anything.
About Sammy Vatanen?
I have not heard anything on Sammy Vatanen, which is really kind of crazy. I'm going to be calling around today. Hopefully, I'll have some Sammy Vatanen news for everybody tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
So far, I mean, really what I heard was Eric Haula, sorry.
Eric Haula.
Kevin Haula. Why don't I want to call him Kevin Fiala, Eric Haula? That's what I screw up all the time.
There you go.
Eric Haula, who, and Eric Haula and Hoffman is interesting. There's two guys that, could really were a big part of scoring for the Florida Panthers that are gone. That when we talk about the Panthers coming up, we know they have to do more things because they're losing scorers. Like they lost Dadonov too. They have lost 3 players that are like 3 top 6 forwards.
But they don't have the money.
They don't have the money, but they have some money to do something. I mean, unless
not a lot of money.
There's something there that they really like as far as their prospects that they're going to just give a lot of. I mean, losing 3 top 6 forwards is really tricky. But Eric Haula and the Oilers. Now the Oilers to do this, would have to do something as well. So that's an interesting thing to have. Yeah.
Well, one thing they could do is Clefbaum and LTIR, but that's not a permanent thing. He'll eventually come back. But
right.
They don't have a ton of cap space as well. So
and the rumor here is that the Oilers down the line could move Haula to Vegas for Marc-Andre Fleury too. That was another thing, depending on how things play out. Now that's a little bit funny to think about signing a player to perhaps trade him down the line. But if you like how Haula fits into your lineup, and you know that you might need to make a goalie, you do know that one of the guys that Vegas really does like is Eric Haula. Like they would sign Eric Haula if heard if they could have moved Marc-Andre Fleury. They would have found a way to sign him, or they would have just not, traded Nate Schmidt. But now in the situation that they're in now, they, that would be because Marc-Andre Fleury in Edmonton would be a game changer for them. I think that would put Edmonton at a totally different level.
The chat room's right. We should mention Jack Quinn signed his ELC. That's good. He's not going to play this year though for that.
No,
but it's good to do that. They had to do that anyhow because he's a top pick.
I know Bunner's injured. I know that. Right?
Here's the big question with Zdeno Chara.
Yeah.
How long can the Bruins actually wait before they decide to not only move on, but then not have a captain for this year or name a different captain?
I think they'll name Bergeron as captain. I think they'll go to a different captain. But I think that what I've heard now that Chara's thing is that he really is more interested in how the season's going to be played. Like he doesn't necessarily want to play in bubbles. So it's like if the NHL comes out and says we're playing in bubbles and all that stuff, he's maybe just gonna take a year off.
Right.
I heard a quasi retire, but maybe not continue working out and say come back next year when it's normal again or something like that. I wonder
come back if they go away, because it doesn't sound like they're going to play in bubbles, Zach. It sounds like they're going to follow the Major League Baseball model, which is playing in the cities. But
I haven't heard that yet. I hear it both are still very much neck and neck as far as how they're going to do it. But where are we hearing? Where are we hearing that?
Well, Elliot Friedman reported it on the weekend that the players simply do not want to play in bubbles.
Yeah.
They don't. There's no question they don't, but it depends on how this plays out, right? Because there's still much to do with this.
The only complicating factor with that is the fact that some states like New York, you would have to get some sort of special waiver. I mean, Russ would know. It's very unlikely they'd be able to play at MSG or play it, but maybe they would play at Nassau Coliseum, or maybe they could play in Newark.
They'll let them play. They just won't let them have fans.
Right. And if they could play at MSG without fans, then that's exactly what they would do.
Yeah. Here's another one. There's an internet rumor, but it sort of makes sense. Travis Hamonic to the Canucks. That does fit along with what he's sort of looking for. Yeah,
it does. I've heard his name mentioned with the Canucks before and the Jets. But I don't know. I like that. I think it's funny. Does he have a lot left? Do we think Hamonic has enough left?
Well, compared to he's still decent.
Yeah,
No, that's not the problem with Hamonic. The problem with Hamonic is, if he wants a multi-year deal, I can't see Vancouver doing it because they've got to pay Hughes and they got to pay Pettersson next year.
Oh, but maybe he goes for 1 year. Maybe he does.
Right. If he goes for 1 year, then they probably could pay him, $2 to $3 million on a 1 year deal.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting too. Like I've heard that Chara, getting back to Chara, someone just texted me this too, that they don't think he's going to go anywhere else this year. As far as like, there were thoughts about Tampa, other teams too, but it feels like now it's like with Chara, it's like basically
Boston or bust.
It's Boston, or I'm going to sit out for a year while the pandemic's going on and then come back next year. And that's hard to do at his age, obviously. But
yeah, I can't. I mean, I don't question him in terms of staying in shape, but in terms of being able to be fast enough, you sit out a year. I don't know.
I don't see him working with Tampa, and that rumor's been out there for a while, but I don't see that.
Yeah, I think if it would have been Tampa, he'd have done it already.
Also, Chara's really tight with Halak too, and I think that's like every time I hear Halak resigning there, I've heard Chara's been really big on that on keeping Halak as their backup. He really thinks that he's the guy for that spot.
But at some point, they're not going to care what he thinks because he's not there.
Yeah,
right.
That's true. But I think he's there until he's not in their minds.
And then there's another rumor which I don't understand, and I really can't see it happening. Like Vatanen in Carolina, like they're stuffed already on the blue line. Like what else are they going to do?
Unless they're going to trade somebody else, unless they're going to trade Pesci or trade, But no, the other thing that's been out there is Carolina trying desperately to get Dougie Hamilton re-signed.
Yeah, I've heard that too. Hamilton thing is going to be a problem for them. There's no question about that. So Aaron
Savage has a good fit here. Hoffman in St. Louis would be a good fit.
Yeah,
especially with Tarasenko out probably for most of the year.
Yeah.
No, that's not a bad idea. I haven't heard it yet, to be honest, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's not definitely not a bad idea. I think we're going to see a lot of that. I think we're going to see a lot of like we talked about, like
last minute
and PTOs and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but not among these players.
All right, what do we consider last minute? Like camp is probably going to start for the teams that didn't make the playoffs. Maybe the first week of December, maybe middle, second week or the beginning of it at the very latest.
First week of December. I think right after Thanksgiving we could see camps come in to play.
So these players don't have much longer.
They don't. It depends, I guess, especially for like guys like like Hoffman, or I'm not necessarily Hoffman, but like players who haven't played for such a long period of time. Camps be very important this year, like more important than.
Let's just say this. I mean, obviously Hoffman and Vatanen will get good money and a couple other free agents out there. But at this point, some of these players may be willing just to take, say, a 1 year $1 million contract to play someplace where they can get stats and say, okay, I'll go out in free agency next year and use that as a basis to get a new contract, because that's better than sitting on the sidelines and not having a deal.
Yeah. I agree. I don't know. Interesting. The other we'll get into this tomorrow, but Kevin Allen had a really interesting article he wrote about the one rule he would like to change, and we'll talk about rule changes tomorrow probably as part of our show, and check out his blog on HockeyBuzz. It's just a little teaser, but see what you think of it. It's an interesting one. I like the rule change that he suggests.
Okay.
But in the meantime, definitely, guys, enjoy the rest of your day. We'll be back again tomorrow. Keep on top of HockeyBuzz for all the upcoming changes. Go to patreon.com/.
Something's got to give here at some point.
What's that?
Something's got to give at some point.
Something's got to give at some point. We're definitely in a weird limbo mode. And I think the second the NHL announces what they're going to do is when things will give, because I think I think then teams will be able to say, okay, this is how much money we're going to actually be able to make. This is how much money we won't be able to make in that scenario. And then teams will know what they can do. Right now, they just don't know what they can do. And that's a common thing. I'd love to sign you, but I don't know if I can. And that's really what a lot of teams are saying to a lot of these players. Remember, without the buzz, it's just hockey. We will talk to you tomorrow. I have to end the show because I'm running it. Without the buzz, it's just